All right. What's up, guys? Today we got a special guest, Jay.
Yay.
Wait, you know his name? His name?
His name is Jewel J. Jackson. Johnny.
What's your guess?
John.
I don't know. I thought it was just Jay. Like how you're just Tim and how I thought you were Timothy.
Jack. Is it Jack?
It's Jonathan. Right? Jonathan. I remember. I met him freshman year actually, which is crazy.
Really?
Yeah. We brought this up before. I have like the worst memory, bro.
So
you can tell it.
Okay. We had intro to business together. I was sitting right next to him. And back then I didn't even know him. But I knew it was like he was a really good typer because every day he'd go his parents was like, how'd you get so good at typing? He's like, I speak games a lot. He's like, I love Uzi Vert. I love Uzi Vert. I listen every day.
I remember, bro, 105 words per minute, 96% accuracy. I was
He's a
goated.
every day in class because we intro to business. We didn't even do business stuff. We learned how to type. So it was like F G. And I mean, was it the home keys? J.
Put your hands on the little tabs right here.
I swear no one does it though.
Yeah.
Do you?
I did not at all, bro.
Do you guys type with like the home key and stuff?
No.
I don't do that
What
either.
do you mean the home key?
It's like putting your fingers.
F and J.
Yeah, I put my index fingers on F and J.
And then you type like how they teach you. Like
I do my own way, but mostly like they're like that.
question. Do you guys type with the shift on this side?
Nope.
You're supposed to do it with both, I heard.
Yeah. Like,
Like,
do you?
No,
I only shift on my
I only
left.
shift with my right.
Sometimes I forget there's a shift on the right side of my
I only
keyboard.
shift on my right. What?
What?
Like, if you guys space bar, do right or left?
Left.
Right.
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 You
Right.
guys are psychos.
No, you know what's even crazier? I'm gonna do this. Is it
Oh, I
right over
remember
left?
this talk.
It's
Oh,
right
yeah.
over left.
It's left over right.
It's right over left.
It's
Oh,
left
wait,
over
one at a time. So I go right over left,
I go left over right.
left over right.
I go right. It's definitely right.
Right over left?
It's more
and now are you right-handed or left-handed?
right-handed.
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 Yeah.
That's crazy to me. That blew my mind. Because, like, we all dominate right hand, but for some reason, some people do left over right, and others do right over left.
I feel like it's like force of habit though.
It feels wrong for me to go
It feels
left
so
over right.
bad.
Yeah.
Look, not try switching.
It feels so
It feels
unnatural.
weird.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I was talking about this with, in French with the people in my group, and they're so weird. Everyone had, like, a different, and, like, left-handed people did, like, left over right, right over left, too.
I guarantee you, everyone who's watching right now, y'all just did
Y'all just did that?
Y'all just did it. Hey, y'all just did it. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all.
Left over right is the only right answer, bro.
There's no
It's the
way.
only right. I just can't. I'm done. All right. Okay. Hold on. So let's get into what we wanted to talk about today.
Yeah.
You want to introduce what you want to talk about today?
Can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Hey, introduce yourself.
I kind of skipped over that.
Right. Yeah. My name is Jay. I'm 16 years old. I am a junior. I like going to the gym. I like going out with friends. I play a lot of video games. That's really it.
Sure.
I wanted to talk about something related to self-image, body image, just stuff along those lines. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
So, is negative body image or body image in general something that you've dealt with before, or?
Yeah, pretty much all my life, actually. Okay, I mean, this goes back far. Basically, when I was first like born, my mom was like super overprotective, right? Like she's a mother, right? So I don't hate her for it. We have like a rocky past, but I don't hate her for what she did. But she basically like quarantined me before like when I was at a super young age, before I could really experience things that were outside. And she basically fed me the same thing all the time. She fed me a lot, and I never went outside at all. So I was super overweight as a kid, and I developed really bad allergies to like everything that was outside because I never went outside until I was like 7, 8. Because apparently she told me I was born with like this really bad sickness, and they didn't know if I was gonna make it as like a baby. So she got super protective about that. So growing up, I was just naturally big. I was super fat. So when interacting with people, it was like, I just felt out of place because everybody that I knew, except for like a couple other kids, they were super skinny, right? And I was just over here. I was like a massive kid, bro. I think I was like a 9-pound baby, dude. I was huge. I don't remember, but so growing up, definitely that was like the start of the whole thing. And it just got bad because when my parents divorced when I was like 10, 11, I turned to food because my grandparents made like hella good rice. They made good rice. They fed me good. Yeah, they fed me good, bro. So I ate and I ate and I ate, and even my busy schedule didn't keep me from gaining weight. So I think going into 7th and 8th grade, I was bordering on like actual obesity, like serious obesity. I was 250 pounds in 7th grade. And going into 8th grade, I kind of evened around like 240. And so one day I was like, okay, this is just getting bad, right? So freshman year, I was like 230. I lost weight because over the summer I started playing more basketball, and I used to swim competitively, so that was the thing. And basically quarantine happened, right? You started training quarantine, right, Tim? Quarantine happened, and I spent the majority of it just playing video games with friends and not really doing anything. I didn't go outside at all. My weight shot back up. I was like 250 again, right? And then I turned 16 June 1st. I got my ears pierced. I buzzed my head like earlier, and I was like, dude, you know what? I'm tired of this. Like, I'm just tired of like hating the way that I looked and like the way that I performed, because living fat is a lot different, because sometimes you wake up and your body just does not listen to you, bro. Like, you wake up and it's a struggle to get out of bed. Your knees are always hurting the moment you like run and stuff. And so I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I got a gym membership to Crunch. I started going then. 4 or 5 months in, I dropped about 50 pounds because it's a good number, but the way I did it was super unhealthy. I ate 1 meal a day, small bowl of rice, small bowl of chicken, whole day. So I lost weight too fast, so I didn't gain a lot of muscle from my like newbie gains phase, right? So right now I'm at what's it called? 197. I weighed myself this morning. That's basically it. Like my upbringing of the whole situation.
How would you say like struggling with your weight growing up like affected you outside of like your household? Like, I heard you were like a swimmer, you know, like, you know, I used to swim back in the day, and like a lot of people were like super fit and stuff like that.
I was pretty much like the only person in like sort of my team that was really big, and interacting with other people while being the size that I was just awful. Especially when like there are nice people everywhere, right? Like, let's not lie. You know, not a lot of people will just like actively make fun of other people for being their size, but I definitely ran into like my fair share. And let's not get it twisted. I like, if it's like a joke, right? If it's in good spirit, if I know you, we're friends, we're bros, we've been talking for a while, I don't care. Like, it doesn't affect me if I've known you. But it gets to a point where some people that I don't know that well, especially in the past, not so much now, it was just like a constant, like, just things that I had to deal with, right? Like, I'd just go to school, and then it would just be like, oh my God, yo, what's the fat guy's back, or something like that, right? Something along those lines. And I just have to laugh it off, because I had this, like, people had this perception of me that I was just this, you know, this fat guy who was super happy. He like, oh, he just makes jokes all the time, right? Like, he's always laughing and stuff like that. But it affected me, right? To the point where it just became really difficult for me to handle. And I also was struggling with like temper management. I actually had to get counseling for that, because my mental state really deteriorated, got bad after my mom and dad had their like divorce situation, I grew up having to like deal with different people coming to the house, moving things out. My dad had to go out. They would have arguments and stuff. Police over sometimes. So it was just bad to deal with mentally on top of like how I was physically. So I would say speaking to other people sometimes got really tough for me, right? Because of the way I looked.
Would you say that you felt like you were being judged?
Oh, definitely.
Often?
Often. I also don't come from here. Moving here, I moved here freshman year. I didn't know anybody at all. Not a single person. So coming here without any friends or anything, I definitely felt like I was being judged. Which is why, I don't know if you remember, but I would always show up wearing like, you know, best outfits that I could. I would always wear like expensive stuff. I'd always have my hair done. I spent time in the morning always doing my hair because I wanted to like feel at place, and I would always be wearing a hoodie or anything to like try to cover like how I looked physically, because I didn't want people to see me that way. And it was rough. It definitely was rough that first year. And even now I don't have that many friends because I'm not that social of a person anymore. So walking around, I'm typically alone when I'm at school. Walking around, I definitely still feel like some stares, and so it kind of just feeds into like this body dysmorphia that I have, where it's like, bro, you just gotta keep going, like you just gotta keep trying to lose weight, but it gets tough sometimes, yeah.
I hear you. I know you talked about stuff that happened in your past and stuff that happened when you were growing up. How do you see those events, like, from your point of view now?
That was a good question. Damn, I'm really remembering stuff now. I don't really know, because thinking back on it now, I don't remember things clearly, because back then I used to cry a lot when stuff was happening with my parents. So typically when arguments would happen, they just shove me like into my room, and it's just like, I would just hear it, right? So it was more of a situation where I couldn't see what was happening. It was just like listening. And I feel like my perspective on the situation now is that they did what they could with what they had. You know, things weren't working out, and obviously they didn't want me to hear the arguments. Which is why they tried to like get me out of it. But at the same time, it's like, you know, could we not have just worked this out a different way, right? Like, I don't know why they had to do all of that stuff at home with me around. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of messed up, but I also don't want to blame my dad. I don't want to blame my mom. I don't want to blame anyone, but
I mean, it's how you feel. You
yeah.
know? So you like, blame or not, like, your feelings are validated. You know, like, during that time, do you remember if you had anyone in particular or a group of people in your corner, or just like people that you could rely on or talk to during that time?
My uncle, oh my God, he was such a good guy, dude. He actually introduced me to like strength training when I was younger. I never had like an interest in it because I was so into video games. I was so into basketball, even though I'm so bad at it. And I never really paid attention to what he was doing. A little backstory on my uncle, because I think it's actually really interesting. He was a star high school basketball player. And when I say star, I mean like star, bro. I would walk into his room, trophies on trophies on trophies. And he told me that he had more but some of them had gotten like destroyed by a big earthquake back then. I don't really remember, but he used to just be this like super good high school basketball player, in college as well. And he told me, it was like, no, he didn't even tell me because he never wanted to bring it up. My mom told me that he actually probably would have went pro if he didn't get this really nasty knee injury. So growing up, man, he would teach me so many things about basketball. Not only basketball, weight training, and he was just all around such an incredible guy. And I feel like without him, I don't even know what stage of life I'd be in right now. Like I'd still probably be trying to find myself because he would give me such great like all around life advice for so long.
Mm.
Oh, I missed that guy.
Are you not touching this?
No.
Oh.
Because I don't live with my mom anymore. And he used to stay at my mom's house. But now I heard that he went off and got married and now he's just somewhere. I can't like really text him,
Yeah. I have a question for that actually. You know, like when you were younger, did you like actively remember being like thankful for your uncle, like that he was in your corner, or is it just kind of like after the fact you realize like, oh man, like he did so much for me? Like were you presently aware of that when you were younger?
I feel like it was a mix of both.
Uh-huh.
You know, like I appreciated him because at the time my dad still hadn't like fully moved out. He kind of had to like live in this back room in the house, and so they would still argue occasionally because they had a really tense relationship at the time. And so every time an argument would happen, like I said, I used to cry a lot when I was younger. I would just be crying and I'd run straight to my uncle, like no thoughts, just straight to him. And no matter what, he would always like talk to me at any hour of the day. So of course I was thankful that I could go to him, but I didn't necessarily understand how much it like affected me at the time. Because I feel like if I didn't have anyone to go to at the time, especially not someone as wise as him, bro, it would have been bad. Like it would have been bad. So yeah, it's definitely a mix of both.
I hear you. So, how are you feeling about that, like, now? You know, like, everything that happened in your past. Are you content? Are you still angry? Are you a little frustrated, annoyed?
I'm gonna be honest, this sounds really bad because, like, I didn't elaborate on the whole thing because it's a long story. I do feel like a sense of resentment towards my mom. And she's trying to fix it now. Like she's trying her hardest, right? There's been situations where I've had like split custody between her and my dad. Like I tried, it's completely up to me because my dad actually has full custody of me, but if he knows that I needed a mother figure in my life, times I'd go back and then I'd actually get into an argument with her, you know, and God, tying this in, I remember there was an argument that we had, I think, over like me being up an hour past my bedtime, and she straight up just started insulting me, dude. Bro, she was calling me like fat and stuff that I can't say on air because it's profanity. Stuff like that, like she just went at me. And so, but that was a while ago, I'd say 3 or 4 years ago. And I still haven't forgiven her for that stuff because she knew how, like, stuff about how I looked made me feel. I had severe problems at that specific time about how I looked because I was like peaked. It was rough, and I love my dad so much because he's been there for me. He's trying so because I don't really have like a mother figure in my life anymore. She texts me every now and then. She like tries to bring food over sometimes and stuff, but it's tense because I feel like now that things kind of settled down and we don't really talk that much anymore, I should forgive her because it's just a good thing to do. but I really just can't find it in my heart to just like forget about all the stuff that's happened. You know what I mean? It's tough. It's definitely a battle. But yeah.
Okay.
I have a quick question. Like, what made you want to change? Like, the way you look? Like, what made you want to...
Man, okay. This is a heavy conversation. I'm sorry for like throwing all this stuff on you guys. I had been dating a girl for a year and a half, from 8th grade summer up to middle of freshman year, right before quarantine happened. And then, oh my God. And then, what's it called? I'm gonna just say, she just cheated on me. She just cheated on me with this guy that I had like worries about for a long time, like months. And the way that I found out was so bad too, because it was right after finals happened and winter break was gonna happen, bro. And I get out of class and I'm like, oh my God, 2 weeks off. I'm gonna play so much video games. I'm gonna go hang out with the boys. We're gonna party. I get a phone call from Dylan. Bro, I just saw your girl making out with this other guy. Huh? What you mean? What you mean, bro? And it's like, yeah, I mean, like, my girl saw it. I saw it. I have a video. I'm like, damn, that's tough. That's tough. So, actually, no, there wasn't a video. My bad. And then, what's it called? I called her, and she was like, no, I didn't do it. I was heated, so I called my cousin Vivian, and I was like, Viv, you gotta pull up right now. We're going over to Millie. Now. And she's like, oh, okay. Why? I'm like, no reason. Hang up. Picks me up on the way to Millie. She's like, hey, you look kind of mad, bro. Are you gonna fight someone? And I'm like, no. I just need to talk to this guy. And then she was like, I don't want to take you anymore because I don't want you to get into a fight. And then eventually when I got there, I couldn't find him. I called her again, just to like ask again. I tried to be calm. I was like, yo, you just gotta tell me the truth. It doesn't really matter. Like at this point, it doesn't matter. I already know. I trust my boy. I trust his girl. You just gotta tell me how it is. Like, And she was like, yeah, okay, I did it. Right? Like I did it. And I was like, okay, that's all I needed to hear. Thank you. Cut off. Year and a half down the drain. And then I remember that night I went out with friends. I went to their house and we partied to try and get me to forget. And I remember just going into the bathroom and just looking at myself in the mirror. Like I washed my face, I just looked at myself in the mirror. And it was just like, what's it called? I just didn't like the way I looked. I was like, I in my head, I was just telling myself, it was like, bro, her friend looked better than you. Like, what can I say, right? Like, you just weren't good enough. So at that moment, I was like, I knew I had to make a change, but habits die hard, right? So quarantine happened, and then I spent most of it playing video games. And then because I was just thinking, I just went back to the mirror. It all comes back to the mirror, and I was like, bro, I just gotta do something. So went out, ears pierced, cut, gym, membership, go. And I haven't missed a week since. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, you going every single week. That is commitment right there. That is dedication. I respect that.
Sorry about the girl though.
It's fine.
Sorry.
I respect that.
We live and learn. We live and learn.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
It was tough though. It was definitely tough. That one was rough, man.
I know, Tim, you wanted to talk about some stuff related to the topic.
I feel like I'm in the same boat as Jay. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up like really chubby as well. Like really.
Really?
Yeah. I can show you guys later. I have like old pictures. I was a big kid, and then I remember PE. Like the kids were running, and like I was like I couldn't do the runs because I was so tired and gassed. And I'm like, bro, this needs to change. So then like 7th, 8th grade, I like low-key stopped eating. Yeah, and I got really skinny. And then freshman year, I was pretty small.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me that. Like, I didn't realize it, but then looking back, I was really small. Like, I barely grew in like height, but I was like 40 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
So like, that was crazy to me to like finally realize now that what I was doing back then was unhealthy and not good for me. But it made me happy knowing I lost the weight, because growing up, like as kids, I was like super sensitive to everything. People calling me fat would make me mad. Anyone who would like make fun of my weight would make me mad. But I would like Jay like laugh it off, because like what can you do,
Exactly.
right? Because in my head I'm like, they're not wrong, right? So then one day I'm like, I gotta do something about it. And then that led to me finding ways to like lose weight. And I remember going on YouTube, how to lose weight, like diets and stuff. And I tried a bunch of stuff. I remember I did keto, because people say it's super good. I tried fasting. I tried like cutting out like carbs, stuff like that. And like, I mean, they did work, but it wasn't healthy or anything.
Yeah.
Like I gave up a lot to look the way I felt I wanted to look. But then when I got there, I still wasn't happy, because I'm like, now I'm skinny and I look weird.
Yeah.
So then that motivated me to go to the gym. And then because I felt that like, I don't know, to look good you need a nice body, you know?
I feel that.
But I feel that's also a lot of like societal pressures. Like the look, and like a fit, good looking guy is usually a fit guy.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Most definitely. Oh, back to that fasting part, dude. I used to do water fasts too.
Dude, they're
That,
not.
that was how I kept like continuously losing like that 10
Losing
pound
weight.
and then 10 pound
Mhm.
and then we shot back
It's
up.
not good for you.
Yeah.
You and Viv, anything to add?
Personally, I can't say I've struggled with the way that I looked. I know I've seen pictures, and I wouldn't say I was chubby, but I was pretty chubby like up until 6th grade. But I was always like out and about, like a lot of sports and stuff. So by the time 7th grade happened, like I hit the craziest growth spurt, and I just like shrinked, and then like went taller, and then like that like peak point where like how like girls are generally taller than dudes, and so dudes hit that crazy growth spurt, and then now they're taller than girls. Like I hit that in 7th grade.
Right.
Yeah, I hit that in 7th grade, and then I've kind of been like the same, like I don't know, body mass index. Is that a thing?
BMI.
BMI, the same. I don't know. I'm probably not using that term correctly for any gym person here, but like I'm like the same. Like I've been growing like a little bit, but I've been increasing weight a little bit at the same time. You know?
Good to hear, yeah.
Yeah.
Steady growth is always better than just shooting up and down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely a good thing to hear.
For me, I've always been okay with my body. Like even though like as a kid, I think I was pretty chubby. I've always been okay. Like I've always like grown it out, and I was pretty tall in middle school, and that like made my body go like that. But it's definitely like nowadays, the societal like pressures of the perfect image of like a girl is like under a certain weight, and it's really unhealthy. Like I always like look at like other girls, I'm like, I don't look like that, and like I've accepted it, but it always like comes back to me like I don't look like that. I don't think I could ever look like that, because I don't know, some people like everyone's bodies are different, and yeah, it's just like acceptance, and it's definitely like scary what kind of like beauty a girl must have to be considered beautiful, or what kind of body they must have to be considered healthy. So yeah.
You're doing way better than me. I keep comparing myself to like fitness influencers, man.
I feel you.
I keep going on like TikTok or YouTube or something. I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, man.
I think what's worse is comparing yourself to your peers. That like kills me sometimes. Like, especially in the gym when you look around and people look so much better than you. Like I struggle with that. Like,
Looking at Darren makes me so sad. He makes me so sad sometimes, man. He's so jacked. Oh my god. It just feels like I'm constantly chasing something that I'm never gonna reach. But like,
You'll get
I
there.
want to reach it. I want to so bad. I'm fighting, dude. especially with this whole weight cut thing. I'm like kind of in it right now, Tim, but like I'm like iffy on the
Just stay
calories.
consistent.
I am, yeah. I've been eating the same thing over and over again.
Like back to the like society thing again. I feel like all of it is societal pressure because like I don't know. Like growing up, like you said you were like big as a kid.
Definitely, yeah.
Like I felt like as a kid, you just like have fun, right? Be happy. But like I can't really put it into words. I don't know what I'm trying to say right now.
Are you saying like, before like all of us were on our phones and influenced, like we were okay with the way that we looked?
Yeah, kind of.
I think so, yeah.
I just think like, as long as you're happy with the way that you look, it's fine, you know? And if you're like trying to lose weight or you're trying to look a certain way, you should do that for like yourself and not really for like the way other people see you, because at the end of the day, like, it's how you perceive yourself.
Definitely.
You know, because I've had like a lot of people that I know, like, I don't know, go to the gym for like a certain reaction from people around them.
Definitely.
You know, and like they get disappointed when, you know, results don't come and like people don't react the way that they want to react when they see them. And you know, I feel like every time you dedicate yourself to something, it should be because, you know, you want to. And not because of like society pressuring you to do so. Yeah.
Especially when it comes to stuff like fitness, if you really want like good results, you need like wholehearted dedication, right? It's not something that you can just go for like a couple months and it's like boom, you're like a Greek god, right? Man, I've been at this for 7 months. I haven't, you know, I mean, of course, for about like 3 or 4, I didn't really know what I was doing, but it, you know, I still don't look impressive like at all. I just cut weight, right? So it takes years, man. It takes years to actually get to where, or for people to get to where they want to be within this sort of thing, you know? And it feels like a lot of people don't really realize that you can't just go to the gym and pick up a couple weights for like 3-4 months and then all of a sudden you look like someone like Tim, right? Like that's just not how it goes. Stop lying to yourself, bro.
I also
You
think
look great.
I also think like sometimes like with all like the stuff that's being put out there on social media and stuff, like I know this from experience talking to people who go to the gym, and I feel like a lot of them, they set unrealistic expectations because of the people that they see online, and it's like, and then it gets like really difficult for them to like have a good mental health, you know, because they're like, why can't I be as good as like good looking as these guys, or like how come my work is not paying off like how their work is paying off, you know? I just think, you know, sometimes like you got to be okay with like, you know, like taking it at your own pace. You know, everyone has their own path. Everyone has, you know, their own journey they have to follow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You feel
I
like
really don't know what that is.
You don't know what it is?
I kind of know what it is.
Body dysmorphia is where typically your brain tries to trick you into seeing yourself like differently than how you actually look. It's where you look into a mirror and you just see yourself looking as bad as possible. Or if you're like me, basically sometimes I just see myself like a lot bigger than I am, right? Like it feels like I've reverted back to like pre-quarantine stuff like that. It's just really, it's like a trick.
Is it like when you see yourself, it's like, I don't get it.
If you went into the gym skinny and you get to this point where you're muscular, or
But you still think you're skinny?
you still think you're skinny.
Oh, I
The
see.
mirror is still telling you that you're skinny. You're convinced that you're skinny in your mind, And so you just continue to keep pushing yourself harder, but the results don't come.
Oh,
Right, yeah. Sometimes in my head, I still feel like I'm that person, right? It's tough. It's tough. But it's just, it helps with taking videos because sometimes you can really see where you've come.
Oh, like progress?
Progress pictures and videos, yeah. Because mirror doesn't really help too much sometimes because you can't really like gauge it too well, you know, so I think it's definitely just better if you record your progress.
I think one time at the gym I was talking to Jacob, and he's really good looking. He's a nice body.
Jacobs.
And then the whole time he's like, dude, I'm super small, I need to do more. And he told me he had like body dysmorphia, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's crazy because he's shredded.
He's so shredded.
Yeah.
That's just how it is though, you know. I don't think, I mean, you don't have body dysmorphia, so you're fine. You keep saying that you're small for some reason. I don't see
So
that.
I just want to look a certain way, and I'm not there yet. But I'll get there eventually. We chill.
Give it another year or two. I think we'll both get to our goals.
Of course.
Hopefully, this body dysmorphia thing will go away because man, it is annoying. It is really annoying, bro. I just want to accept, like, that I've made progress towards where I want to be. It's not as much as I want it to be, but like, it's the best I could have done. You know what I mean?
For sure. For sure.
That's all.
That's all you can really ask for, though.
Yeah,
That you put in your best effort.
definitely.
I think, like, I forgot. Someone said, like, this coach said, like, there's some type of quote that's like the best that we can hope for is like that our efforts correlate into results. Because, you know, sometimes you can put in a lot of effort and you just don't get the results. So the best that you can hope for is like that your efforts will pay off at the end.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely.
And I'm happy for you.
Thank you, bro.
You made a lot of progress.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Good job.
that's
Appreciate you guys.
big things, man.
I hope so. I really do hope so. I'm gonna keep working.
Keep at it, bro. Keep at it. Keep at it.
Keep working.
You're gonna reach it.
Thank you, bro. I hope so. I mean, I'm probably just gonna keep going with Tim unless this guy just.
I have a really bad thing when he's like, bro, Tim, what time you go to the gym today?
Oh, I'm gonna go at 3:30. I get there at 3:30. 2 hours later, I turn around. He's walking in, big smile on his face. I'm like, checking the time. He's like, bro, it's like 5. I'm like, yeah, I fell asleep. Man.
Every day. I'm so sorry, bro.
Oh, he's gonna lie to you like that, man.
I didn't mean to.
I hear you. Alright. I think we got enough for today.
That concludes it.
Yeah, I think we should conclude it for
I'm
today.
glad you shared with us.
Yeah. Thank you for
I
sharing.
am too.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for sharing.
No problem, guys.
It must have been a lot for like when we first heard it. Like I know it must have been a lot and really difficult to share.
Yeah,
You know?
it
So
definitely was.
Thank you.
yeah. So I respect you for that. But I'm gonna close out. Any final words that you want to say, or like to anyone who could be in the same situation as you?
Only thing I could really say is if you think that you're not making progress, you know, if everything continues to just put you down, if you're looking in the mirror, you don't see anything, other people aren't really noticing what you're doing, definitely just keep pushing towards that goal. Everything in life takes time. Everything in life can be solved with a amount of time. You just don't know like how much, right? So you can't say that if you go for this certain amount of time and it's not working, if it worked out for someone else, it'll probably just take a longer time for you. So if you're struggling with anything, it doesn't have to be gym related. It doesn't have to be related to anything specific. Please don't make the same mistake as me. Don't rush things. You know, don't be like me and Tim. We both tried like short-term results, right? Yeah. Please don't be like us. Just continue on the path that you're on and things will solve itself, right? You just have to keep working. You just gotta give it time. Be patient. Please be patient.
Just keep pushing.
Well said.
Exactly.
Well said.
That's all.
All right. Well, that concludes it. See you guys.
Bye.
See you guys next
See you
week.
guys
Thank you
later.
guys for listening.